Hello, people. Welcome to the 6th episode of Hollercast, and we are stoked to be here. We got an amazing guest, just like always, and Josh.
What's up?
What's going on, dude?
Not much, man.
I'm excited about this today.
I am very excited. This has been fun just talking before the show. I've really enjoyed getting to know our guest. Welcome everybody. Episode 6. We're still rolling with this, and it's growing all the time. We're getting busier all the time, and I love it. But before we get started, we want to take a minute and thank our sponsors. And we have to take a second to thank our very first sponsor, Big Al's Pack and Ship. Big Al, we want to thank you so much. We're so grateful for you taking a chance on us, believing in what we're doing, and we really hope that we can work together for many years to come. Big Al's Pack and Ship can handle all of your shipping needs, from just dropping off a package to full-service shipping, U-Haul rental, and more. Big Al's ships out DHL, UPS, and FedEx, and offers great service at affordable rates.
Big Al's is located off of Roan Road in downtown Spruce Pine and is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And we want to thank him again. We appreciate you. Get out there and support him.
Back. So yeah, thanks again for watching. And Chase, introduce our guest.
So today we have somebody that I'm particularly fond of. We've made good friends. We're neighbors, and I just think she has an interesting story. Bethany Chenoweth, what's going on?
Hello, thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
Make sure you eat that mic.
Okay.
It gets a little.
Yeah.
Good.
These things respond. They love it when you.
I'm used to just
stick it down your
yelling at
throat.
my kids. So
Yeah.
this is a new experience to
can yell
just
at the
talk
microphone,
normal.
Well, Bethany, I wanted to have you in here just because I find your story, fascinating. We were talking, before the podcast. Like I said, you're a neighbor of mine. You've done a lot of things that I admire. You're a self-starter. I've talked a lot about Jimmy Henshaw and how much I admire him for just being a person that takes something and takes the reins of it and goes for it. And I find a lot of those same characteristics in you. So
Yes.
I really appreciate you being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I feel really honored to be here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you guys are doing. I've learned so much watching your
I have two.
other episodes. 'Cause
Trust me.
Yeah.
And that's what I've told everybody
I've
is
learned a
that
lot.
I have learned just as much doing this
Yeah.
as people come up and tell me, oh, I never knew,
Yeah.
I never knew that and I never knew this. And it's
that's
so
why
fun.
It's important.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know until you talk about it
Exactly.
or listen about it.
Yep.
So
You're a transplant here. You and your
Yes.
family came here during the pandemic. Why don't you walk us through
yeah.
your pandemic years and
Yeah.
how that all played out?
Yeah, I am new to town. I'm the new girl. We've been here since last October, so about a year and a half. I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. My husband is a Nashville, Tennessee native, born and raised, Belmont
Nice.
alumni. We met at the Appalachian Center for Crafts, where I got my bachelor's degree in textile art, and he was in a gap year between his master's and bachelor's in ceramic art.
Wow.
So Penland
awesome.
is almost identical to the Appalachian Center for Crafts in Smithville, Tennessee. It's a satellite school to Tennessee Tech in Cookeville.
Gotcha.
So that's where we met. So we've been back and forth between Indiana and Tennessee several times. We have been married 13 years. We've got 3 little boys.
And a anniversary yesterday. Congratulations.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Is that right?
Yes, kind of. We celebrated yesterday.
Celebrated
Yes.
yesterday.
Well,
Gotcha.
happy anniversary.
Yes. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Happy anniversary. Congratulations.
Can't believe it. Feels like 50
The
years.
big 1-3.
Love you, Matt. But yeah, we moved around a lot. He went and got his master's degree in Indiana. We had our first 2 babies there. We moved back to Tennessee, moved back to Indiana several times. We were living in Antioch, Tennessee, which is South Nashville. We were bought our rental. We were there for 7 years, flipped it ourselves with like Craigslist
Wow, that's
leftovers
awesome.
and 3 little kids running around, flipped it and sold it, made a little bit of money, enough to leave. We were not in a good school system. We were driving an hour to a charter school, just trying to get out of there.
Gosh, an
But-
hour.
Girl,
That kind of highlights
girl.
your whole life. It's a
Don't
lot
get
about
me
your kids.
started.
And you guys have
We have 3 boys, 12, 10, and 6.
Nice.
God bless them. Never thought I'd be a boy mom, but here I am. So yeah, after we sold that house, we moved back to Indianapolis for a job through one of my best friend's family's company. He's a carpenter also. That's the bread and butter right there is the carpentry.
Yeah.
And I've always
Like
waitressed.
Jesus.
Yep. Yeah, he's a good one too. He's a perfectionist, you know, that
Your husband
craft.
is a great carpenter.
Yeah, he is. So yeah, we moved back to Indianapolis for that job for him doing carpentry through a restoration business of my friends. We were there. We bought what I thought was my dream home. So excited. Kids were in great schools. We got really involved in the community. I had family there. Turns out we bit off more than we could chew. The house was falling down around us. Didn't realize it until we moved in.
Oh, wow.
And then COVID hit about the year we moved. So it was we were there 18 months.
Wow.
COVID hit, and because he was the last hire, they let him go for COVID cutbacks since he was so new.
Right.
And we were looking around like, what do we do? And we were just like, let's just try to go back to Nashville, because this house, we need like $50,000 to fix everything that's going on. And we don't have it. So it was kind of it was definitely a divine situation. It was from the day he was let go, 10 days later, we had sold our house as is to our neighbors. They wanted it from us, and we had moved back like within 10 days. But it was traumatic. We were not expecting the move. The kids were not happy about it. So we took a chance and moved back to Kingston Springs, which is about 30 minutes west of Nashville. Beautiful. We had always wanted to live there. Our best friends lived there. It's a beautiful town, wealthy town, small, very much like Spruce Pine. I'd say smaller than Spruce Pine.
Oh, wow.
But wealthy. We were paying $18.50 a month for a 3-bedroom, and our lease was up, and the owner had somebody else wanting to come in, family.
Gotcha.
We could not find anything under $500,000. We couldn't find anything for rent under $2,000.
Almost seems like this is a problem everywhere.
It was scary. It was really scary. So I basically called my parents. They moved here about 9 months before we did. They left Indiana when we did to chase their dream. They bought the blueberry farm out here on Alta Pass, Revival Farm.
Awesome.
Blue Ridge Blueberries. Those are my parents. And my mom, Debbie Culp, she's an artist. She's an amazing painter, and they have her art studio and gallery there too. She does a lot with Toe River Arts.
Yeah.
So they moved here and had this beautiful place, and they're like, I just said, I need help. We don't know what to do. And they rented a car for me and had me come here one weekend. First time I'd ever been here. And I just said, I need help. And we found this place, and my dad helped us get it. And we moved here.
Welcome.
Welcome.
When we moved here, we got here with our U-Haul, hadn't seen the house,
Really?
Didn't know a soul.
Gosh, so that's 3
big.
moves
So
during COVID.
we had 3 out-of-state moves in 4 years during a pandemic with 3 kids. And, moving will really set you back. Okay? It costs money to move.
Yeah.
I just moved Laura, my
so-
girlfriend, and it was...
I mean, a family of 5, just the U-Haul alone, the deposits, turning everything on, turning everything off, getting a job. He got a job the week we moved here. Thank God.
That's awesome.
He's a carpenter in Black Mountain, working for a company called Simplify Custom Remodeling. So he's the lead carpenter there. He drives an hour to work.
Yeah.
I'm currently waitressing at the chalet. So I'm just entering my 2nd season there, so I'm new still. I'm still the new girl everywhere, but they've been great to work for. And like I said, I've waitressed for 20 years. But yeah, we've had some setbacks.
Yeah.
And we had kids right away when we got married. So we've just been trying to catch up. And
Well, Bethany, I think that's like...
We're just
I've
getting
heard
our feet on the ground here.
Yes, I've heard so many similar stories, and to me, it's fascinating. There's so many people around here that and I work in the building industry too, so I see like all the reasons why a lot of people, people that have come to work for me, people that I work for, and all the reasons why they're trying to get out. I think it was this weird trifecta between, the cities were already getting expensive even before the pandemic hit.
Yep.
Then everybody wants out of the city.
Yep.
So then what it does is it takes the city stuff, which is already expensive, then those people start looking in rural communities and everything goes sky high then. There.
When we were in Nashville, we were like, we can't even afford to enjoy this city.
Yeah, you can't.
We can't even afford to enjoy the city we live in.
Yeah. And Nashville's a
we
beautiful
both work,
place.
we both, it is, but it's completely different,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my in-laws have been there for decades. They're from there, and we've just watched everything go down, and everything's got two skinnies in its place. Two tall and skinnies is what they call them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's it's yuppified. It has been yuppified, and it is like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's fun to go visit, but we were not able to stay. So it was a snowball effect of COVID and housing inflation, just snowballed.
And then it's like everywhere
us.
you turn, there's just a roadblock.
Yeah, and I don't know that we made the best decisions, but we were thinking so fast, like in survival mode with like paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
When people ask me how I got here, I'm like, oh, I don't know.
That's a loaded question.
I'm still trying to remember what happened, but yeah, it's been a long, hard 5 years, but
I wonder how
we're
many.
good. We're good.
I wonder how many, or what the percentage of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. I'm gonna look that up.
I'd say it's shockingly high.
Well, now
Yeah.
it is.
Shoot, I know people who at least present as wealthy that live paycheck to paycheck.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like the
food
more
alone.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've said this before. I used to joke around about how you can go to the grocery store and buy toilet paper and toothpaste and it'd be $50. Now I honestly do think if you went and bought a decently large size pack of toilet paper and like maybe a 2 or 3 pack of toothpaste, you could find $50 in there. Really?
Oh yeah.
oh gosh,
it's crazy.
Well, and I live right next to Ingles, so it's hard.
The refrigerator.
Let's just go for a minute for a couple things.
Right. And then you come back with the entire store.
As of January 2023, 60% of U.S. adults, including more than 4 in 10 high-income consumers, live paycheck to paycheck.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's hard to get that. It's hard to try to get that to that American dream we've all been told about. That our parents and our grandparents were able to do easier.
Yep.
I mean, it is harder right now. It feels harder right now.
It feels like an endless hike uphill in 2 feet of snow is what it feels like a lot of times.
Both ways.
Yep, both
and
ways.
I was telling y'all before, like it feels like you either need to be poverty line to get help, or you need to be in that 1%. The people in the middle are just suffering.
Well, that's always who gets screwed is the middle class.
Yeah.
The middle class.
It always is. And, we were talking about this before we started. It's such a shame that, you try to better yourself and try to make more for your family, and you're trying to get, Medicaid. You're trying to get some help with your child care. You're trying to get food stamps even. And then there's this imaginary line that, well, if you just make over $1 over this, then you all of a sudden don't need any help anymore.
And that's where we are.
And I think a lot of people our age, especially like in our 30s, live on that line. You live constantly on that line, especially if you have kids.
And that's another thing too about Spruce Pine that is new to me. This is such a seasonal town. So, when the chalet shut down for this season, I was like, oh, it'll be fine. I'll just find another job.
Yeah. Not that easy.
No, it's not. And I did try.
Can you still draw unemployment with seasonal jobs?
So if I had been there a full year, I could have.
Oh, okay,
but since
gotcha.
that was my first, it wasn't a full year. So yeah, because I talked to them about that. But yeah, the seasonal thing is another struggle.
Well, that's what you get in tourist towns, and that's the reason I think it's so important that we start looking at what we can do to bring back some of these manufacturing and things like this that are good paying, high paying,
skilled labor jobs
that are year round. That's what hurts. And we were talking before about when all the manufacturing jobs left in the 90s, when me and Josh were here, when we were in school, It was shocking to see what happened. And a lot of people simply had to move away.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that couldn't make it here anymore because how do you make it on a seasonal,
Well, it's either that or like where we were in Nashville, we were driven out because of the prices. So it's both of those. And I have so much to learn about what happened, like what you guys were telling me. I don't know so much about.
Well, it was every small town.
Yeah.
And it was as soon as NAFTA was signed into law. We had a mass exodus of manufacturing, and that manufacturing in small towns, that was just our skilled labor jobs. That was where the middle class worked. And when they left, there was nothing. There was nothing left here. There was a few furniture plant. Well, there was one furniture plant that stayed, and then you've got the mines. And the mines can't really go overseas because we have the ore here. But the furniture plants, the textile plants, all gone.
All of them.
And I mean, it was like that.
And this is what, this is the same story that you find out in the Midwest with your car manufacturing plants.
Yep.
It's the story of Detroit. That was the final death knell to Detroit and places like that, was when all that was NAFTA and CAFTA were signed into law. All of a sudden it was like, oh, well, let's go overseas and utilize a lot of the, the furniture manufacturing plants went to Mexico. And I mean, it was a stark difference. I mean, it was noticeable. You noticed it as a kid, which was what was so.
You felt the shift.
Yeah, you felt the shift.
For sure. And what now looking at it objectively as an adult too, something else, another dark side of that, was that allowed corporations to take advantage of like literal abject slave labor. That's insane. That is insane. It blows my mind that still is a thing today. That still exists.
Well, but Americans are those people. It's like, if we can make sure we just have this in our hand and we drive that nice car, then whatever that means to our community, then, screw all that. We got our phone, we got our car, and here we are.
It's almost like we were sold the American dream. Like it was the American dream, as far as I can tell, it really never really was a tangible thing. It was just an idea that we were sold.
Well, and it was possible back then, I think, too. You could
afford a mortgage and a car on one income, with a family.
Yeah. And that is the American dream, right? It's not that difficult or not that complex. It's just, I want a decent paying job.
Yeah,
I want a place for my kids to be safe.
Yeah.
I want a good community, and I want happiness.
Basic needs.
Basic needs met.
I'm always like, I don't ask for vacations, or I'm not a materialistic. We wear hand-me-downs and drive beat-up cars. we have a nice house that needs a lot of work, but this one's fine. Beautiful home, like it's a beautiful town. We're healthy, knock on wood. But yeah, we have our basic needs, which I'm so thankful for.
Yep.
And so many people don't. So I'm not trying to present that way at all. Like, I know how good I've got it, but I think the point is, you just don't know what people have been through.
Sure.
You don't know. And I'm always telling that to my kids. You don't know their story. You don't live in their shoes. So just having empathy and an open mind for how people got where they are, and especially in Spruce Pine as a newcomer, it's been really hard to kind of try to claw my way out of being an outsider, which I understand and respect and understand why, but it does feel like I have to kind of claw my way out a little bit and explain to people, why we're here.
Right.
That's insane to me.
So,
like,
and there
this
are
is
a lot of new
supposed to
people
be
here.
The land of the free, like home of the Whopper,
Yeah.
But no, seriously, like,
Burger King left a couple years ago, Josh.
My kids, every time we drive by it, they're like, why isn't a Chick-fil-A in there? I'm like, well, guys.
But I heard we were getting a Hooters.
Oh, yeah. I heard that, too. I think it was on this podcast I heard that.
Yeah.
The abandoned Burger King has triggered us all.
No, but, like, Why should anyone have to explain to anybody why they're in a town like that? That's insane to me. This is a really
small town, and there's like, I see the same last names, in the graveyards and on the businesses,
right?
So I get that. There's generational beauty here and richness here that is really important. So I understand where they're like, wait, who? Because I'll meet people and they're like, who's your daddy?
Right.
And I'm like, you don't know him either. He's new too.
But I think what people have to understand is
common last name.
People like you, Bethany, and Matt, and your husband Matt. You guys want to be a part of the community.
We want to,
and it shows.
But we're not going anywhere. We are not moving again.
Right. Yes.
I am not moving again.
So you're putting down roots.
I am not moving again, ever. Like never.
I feel that.
I am done with that. Yeah. So we got to make this work, and we got to make it work for our kids.
And was that kind of the, getting into the chess club and the things that you're a part of?
Yeah. So
that was kind of the genesis of all that. Is you're like, I'm here. I'm going to do something.
Well, it was a mixture of some things. Yeah, so I run the Spruce Pine Youth Chess Club, but I don't do it alone. Colin O'Reilly is my coach. Rachel O'Reilly is a teacher at the Montessori school. They have 3 beautiful kids. They're a wonderful family, and he volunteers his time to coach because I don't play chess, okay? I don't play chess, but I'm here doing this. But when we moved about 2 months after we unpacked and everything, I was like, all right, everybody needs to pick something to do. And my oldest just said, I just want to play chess. Yeah. And I searched areas around Spruce Pine even. There wasn't anything. So I was like, well, I guess I'm going to have to start one. Guess I'll just start one. And so I just put it out there, word of mouth. And we were meeting at Trinity Episcopal Church in the English Woods in their basement. They let us meet there for free.
That's awesome.
And I wasn't sure what to expect.
They've always been excellent with that.
They are. They're great. And that's where we do scouts too.
Yep.
They sponsor us there too.
I went. Did you know I went to Montessori school in that very space?
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you probably heard it used to be in there. Yeah. I went to Montessori school there.
So that's where we started chess club, and people just kept coming.
Yeah.
We definitely had some weeks where I was like, okay, there's only 2 people here, but they were rare, and people just kept showing up.
That's awesome.
And so I discovered this hunger for those kind of things here. And I just kept going. And then over the last summer, we broke for this summer. We didn't meet. We became a library sponsored program. So we are now sponsored at the library in Spruce Pine. We meet every Wednesday from 3:30 to 4:30. It is free.
Yeah.
That's huge for me.
Shout out.
That's awesome.
I want it to be free for everyone.
Yeah.
We did do a fundraiser this over Christmas break with Colin. He was a glass blower. He sold Christmas ornaments that he made, and we raised like $1,200 in a couple days.
That's awesome.
For chess club. And so we did the Spruce Pine Christmas parade. So much fun. So we have between 15 and 25 kids that show up every week.
That's awesome.
And it's non-committal. I don't want anyone to force anybody to come to chess. I want them to enjoy it, but also learn a little bit. So now we're having conversations about doing a summer chess club.
Yeah.
Or camp, sorry. But we have enough in our bank account with our wonderful treasurer. And so we have enough money to sponsor kids who might not be able to afford it.
Yeah,
and
that's amazing, Bethany.
But a lot of people have donated. Like, we've got some really amazing families that care and support. Like I said, it's not all me, so. But yeah, it's been really interesting to see. And I've met a lot of people and really connected with the kids. And my background, other than waitressing, is art teaching. I've done a lot of art teaching. I'm not certified, but charter schools, private schools, art in the cart, after school programs. Probably got about 10 years combined of that.
Wow.
So I love kids, and I'm good at it. I'm natural, a natural teacher. I'm good with kids. We have a good time.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the chess club.
And so we were talking about before, you were one of a number of women that have really stepped up to the plate for this. I think it's a lot of moms. I so admire that, because you see a need for your child. It's not there. You put your hand to the plow and make it happen.
Yeah, and it goes back to, and I'm not trying to be woe is me at all, but we can't afford a lot of we can't afford a lot of sports. we struggle, and so it was important for me to make it free, and there needs to be more of that here.
Oh yeah,
because I'm not the only one that can't afford that stuff, and it is possible, and there's a need for it. And Spruce Pine is a very sports centered town, which is wonderful. Nothing against sports. My kids are not sports guys.
Neither are mine.
So I was.
And neither is Noah's. Yeah.
But I do have a lot of chess players who are on sports teams. Like it's not possible, but
it's not mutually exclusive.
Giving the youth something other than sports.
Yeah.
I agree, and it's important that we, I spent the whole day today researching and watching videos about the living treasures in the arts that are from Mitchell County.
Really?
Yeah. We are an arts town, and we need to embrace it. And there needs to be more of that type of stuff here. There really does. Why do we not have?
I will say,
that?
Penland is one of
they do a great job.
Amazing.
Not
treasures.
withholding Penland.
No, I know. I know you're not, but for us, that's our niche. Like we are art. We're both artists, and. Penland was such a huge draw to us, and it's also such a huge draw for so many people here. I mean, they bring people in for residencies and workshops from all around the world.
Yes, they do.
And it does feel like their own little community out there, because it is.
Yeah.
But it really enriches this town.
It does.
And they do come into the schools with the Penland suitcase artists, and I mean, they do.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Oh my gosh, Stacey Lane. Oh my gosh, Stacey Lane and Lisa Rose. Stacey Lane does all the Hive stuff. That's an amazing program.
I'm not familiar with that. What is that?
Well, I don't want to mess it up.
Right.
But, look it up. She's basically turned it into a community center for the neighborhood back there, the apartments back there for the kids that live there.
Oh, nice.
And she's written grants. She's gotten kilns. It's a room full of art supplies, clay, kilns, wheels.
That's awesome.
It's all free to those kids.
So up there at the
there.
fairgrounds and all that. Yeah, that's really cool.
And it's thrive. I mean, it's beautiful what she's done up there. So there's people that are doing that stuff.
We need to get some of those people on here and showcase
Lane.
some of that. We really do.
She's wonderful.
And you wanted to mention some of the other and they're almost all ladies.
Yeah, I wanted to, because when you asked me to come, I was like, are you sure?
Yes, we are absolutely.
We are absolutely sure.
But yeah, there's a lot of women here that do amazing work. Amy Taylor is my kid's Boy Scout leader. Man, she does not skimp. Those boys go. It's a small group, but it's wonderful. They go on amazing camping trips all summer long. She's got it all planned out. I mean, she works her butt off for the Scouts.
That's awesome.
She has 3 boys. So it's like, the moms,
really stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, and we were talking about Becky. I always say her last name wrong. Her husband works with you. Diela. Becky
yes.
Diela.
Yes.
Diela.
Yes.
She does the Cub Scouts for my other son. She does a lot of work too. And then Katie Elkins. I mean, my gosh, our former librarian is now a 4-H extension agent for she does the family. Oh gosh, I'm going to say it wrong. Family sciences, a lot of stuff with the food. I'm sorry, Katie. Yeah. But she's been a big supporter and has helped me navigate a lot of stuff, and just does amazing things for the community. You see her everywhere.
That's awesome.
And I'm probably missing a lot of people, but yeah, we got some good ladies in the town. Do a lot of work.
That's
for the
important,
community.
man. Moms are important.
Well, and
Jessica Lanning with Giving Gardens. I know she just walked away, but man, she did so much.
well, we need to, and with this podcast, we can really put this stuff out there. I mean, I'm learning this stuff. I had no idea.
This is
No clue.
I've said this 1,000 times. I don't know where to go to find all this stuff.
Right.
There's so many things that are going on. It seems to me that there's a huge need for something where you can put all these things in one resource that can kind of disseminate those amongst people. It's like I feel like I'm having to go to 50 different places to find all these programs, and to find all this stuff. And I wish there was a hub where you could go to find out this type of stuff.
My husband and I have all talked for years. That's always been our dream, is to do a community center or an arts center.
Yeah.
Where we do that kind of stuff. Another one, Chelsea Thayer with the theater in Mitchell County.
Yeah.
Man, she does an amazing, and it's free. It's free.
Yep.
and it's open to all the students. I mean, there's a participation fee that is very doable, but man, I've met so many families through those productions my kids have been able to be in, and it's
Noah was in
so
one last year.
just to bring the visual arts here.
You were in a production last year, weren't you?
Performing.
Yeah, it
arts,
was my
right?
freshman year.
Oh, your freshman year.
Your freshman year?
I thought it. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was second semester my freshman year.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
right.
Did you play Cyrano de Bergerac or something?
It was not Cyrano. We did Curse of the Cobra's Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
We've done Matilda and Frozen so far.
Nice.
Woo!
Yeah.
Curse of the Cobra's Kiss is a I don't know, it's a thriller. Is that what you would say, Noah? You're not even paying
He's
attention.
like,
I don't know.
You're on your phone. You don't even care. You're like, whatever, dude.
But yeah, she's another one that brings those free
Mm-hmm.
community programs that are so essential.
Yeah.
So
You
they're
gotta
here. They're here.
Yes. They're here. I always just find it so hard to find them all. You know?
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I end up sending my kids like the Parkway Playhouse and stuff during the summer for
Yes.
their type of stuff. And that's an excellent resource.
My
which
son
there's
just
another
got.
Yeah.
people we need to
We
have.
were
Yeah.
just granted some scholarships for summer camps
Yeah.
for my kids through them. I applied for scholarships and we got them, so I'm excited to do that.
They're
this
excellent.
summer
The only
too.
thing I'm going to start a fundraiser to put some damn air conditioning. in
God,
the
I
place.
know.
Lord have mercy.
I
It's my
know.
only knock on the Parkway Playhouse.
It is so
Maybe Parkway Playhouse could do some sponsorship.
Yes.
I've played shows in there,
Oh.
and it is incredibly hot on stage.
Wow.
I
Incredibly
have only
hot.
been to one show there. I
Really?
haven't
You ever been to
out
the
there.
Flat Rock Playhouse?
No.
That's the state theater for North Carolina.
Okay.
It is in Flat Rock, and it is very similar to Parkway Playhouse
never
in
been
the
there.
fact that it's a barn. It also has no air conditioning. I was in there with my grandmother in the middle of July, and I thought we were both going to have a heat stroke. Yeah, they got to put some air conditioning in there.
Yeah.
I know they want to keep it original, but man, come on. I did a lot of work on the Parkway Playhouse actually back in the day. Helped them do
Really?
I helped them remodel their dressing rooms and such.
Nice.
I know some people over there.
Yeah, I'm excited to
Reach
get to know
out to
them
them.
more.
Yeah.
Because I know they're a great hub.
Oh yeah,
They are.
Yeah.
And there's so many things like that here that
There
they're
are,
just
and I feel like there's so much more I know there's so much more I have to discover. You know?
Oh, yeah,
Because
for
I've
sure.
really hunkered down in Spruce Pine. I
I've
haven't
lived
been out
here
much.
my whole life, minus the few years I was in Johnson City in college,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still like, I've always said and I've always heard, there's nothing to do here. There's nothing to do here. There's all kinds of stuff to do here. We need.
what they mean by there's nothing to do here is there's not a movie theater.
I know.
There's not a
bowling alley.
trampoline
Yeah,
park and a
there's not
bowling
stuff like
alley.
that.
That's what
But,
people
you know,
mean.
Yeah, I
I see
know.
people say that too, and that would be great. But for the families like us who do need free stuff, we couldn't afford to do it. And like, you know, there's something to be said for more of an outreach situation.
There is. Those are all
and-
things that you're going to have to pay for.
Right.
Yep.
Yes.
And that isn't the margin right now where
No.
we are.
It's not.
The families here, that the norm is that's not gonna
No, it's not.
hold up.
No,
It's not gonna hold up.
It's
Not yet.
And even if we had, say we had a bowling alley, say we had a trampoline park, we had all this stuff to do, people still go to Asheville and Johnson City because there's restaurants there, there's malls there. When you go to those towns or the cities or whatever, you go there to do more than just like go to a trampoline park.
You get out of town, you have the whole day.
Exactly,
Yeah, you have
exactly.
the whole day with
so
your family.
I feel like bringing stuff like that in, the entertainment stuff like that, is really not going to make a huge difference. It's not going to do what people think it would do anyway.
Right.
The answer to me would be like stuff like you're doing, more clubs, more free stuff, more. Maybe we should do a music club or a guitar club or something.
I was telling you should do a podcast like with
Yeah.
older kids,
Yeah.
teaching them how to do all this tech stuff with.
Yep.
God, that's so. And we were talking about that beforehand. You know, I'm sending my kid to AB Tech for a film and video like summer camp, and this is the future.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
I really do
it's what
think
the kids
is.
are into. It's what they're doing.
Yep.
it's what the kids.
So
it
they might as
piques
well
their
learn how
interest.
to do it right, do it safely, and maybe make a buck or two at it.
Yeah.
Hey, no, would you mind to turn that fan on, brother? It's hot, man.
Yeah, I will.
You hot?
I'm fine.
You good?
Whatever.
I'm good with whatever. Yeah,
You don't have to turn it
I
on
can
like
use
blazing fast, but I'm burning up, bro. I'm sorry. I'm run hot.
it's all good. Hit that switch behind you there.
Okay, sweet. Boom.
My sunburn's keeping me a little warm.
There you go. That's
There we
perfect,
go.
man. Thanks, dude. I
I will
appreciate
say
that.
though, like with what we're talking about, yeah, I lost my train of thought. You'll have to edit
That's all
that.
right. No.
Nah, it's cool.
This is what it is.
Stuff
It's-
like
No,
that.
I
It's
remember.
fine.
I remember.
I love it.
So there are so many resources here. You got Mayland. You've got
Yep.
the planetarium. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Gotta get
I
up there.
mean, you've got 4-H does so much. The North Carolina Extension. They do so much. The YMCA also there is a great after school program.
For free.
Yes. For working parents, and
Yep.
there's all these different entities trying, but how do we get it all
I know.
centralized?
It
How
feels
do we
like there's so
collaborate?
many different things and
Yeah.
organizations and people doing things. It would be great to have a community hub of some sort where you could put all
And-
that together as in one singular
it really
place.
would. It
That's
really
another
would.
thing I have talked about. This is the region, the land here is so sprawling. So you've got people in the holler around the bend, you know, up the mountain. And it's spread out, which is
Yeah.
beautiful, but getting everybody transported is a
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
The Spruce Pine shuttle is awesome,
Oh yeah, it's
but
so
that could
cool.
be really developed.
It could be.
And there's no driving service here.
Yeah.
So trying to get everybody from all the corners
Yep.
together with all the resources we do have, with all the people that really do care here. There are so
Yeah.
many people that really do care
There
It's
are.
just getting everybody organized.
Yeah.
and
Well-
promoted.
And I think that's the crux of this whole thing. It's like, how do we organize the community around these kind
And
of
get the
things?
word
I mean,
out.
that's exactly what you're dealing with.
So as far as driving services, there is a little hack. Like I know Uber and Lyft are not offered here. You can't be a driver here, but you can put your when you make a Uber or Lyft account as a driver, you can put your city as Asheville, North Carolina, and then turn the app on here and accept rides from people here.
Oh, really? Okay.
Why
Yeah.
hasn't anyone done that?
That's a good
I don't think a lot of
question.
people know that
I don't
hack,
think they
probably,
do. Yeah,
'cause
so
I've
there's
thought that too.
That's out there. That's it. You can do that. You just set your city to Asheville, North Carolina, and then you're here. You just turn the app on, and you can receive rides. But here's the thing, though: how many you would have to advertise that you're doing that to get people to use the service, because no one here uses the service because no one here thinks it's available. But it could be available.
and in
is my
turn,
thing.
some businesses in town suffer because of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
People are too scared to drive around after certain hours or whatever they're doing. So
I know that
there's lots of reasons why, not just that, but it would
Right.
help the businesses downtown, the restaurants flourish.
Yeah, I've had some discussions with some local government people around here about that particular thing.
Yeah.
Especially like if we're going to be if you're going to have a brewery downtown, if you're going to have a couple bars downtown, obviously you want everybody to be safe. Me and you know this first. You want everybody to be safe. So I know that was something that they were going to emphasize and try to work on.
I
Some of
hope
those
so.
type of things.
I hope
they
so,
would
because
too.
even getting to the shuttle stops is hard for people.
It is. It is.
So
and I love where
having
they're
someone
going
to come
with
to
that,
your
though.
house.
Yeah.
Yes. Like my son, my 12-year-old just did the cooking class through the extension that Katie Elkins taught this week over spring break for free. It's a cooking class for teens.
Shout
They
out.
learned about, yes.
Nice.
She had oh my gosh, so many kids.
See, I wish I'd have known about that. I'd have sent my boy.
Well, shoot, I should. I don't know. They had the shuttle picking up all the kids to get there.
That's really cool.
That's so
And
cool.
there was, at least 15, 17 kids there. And they met at the Presbyterian Church past Harris.
Yeah.
And they learned about knives, roasting, budgeting. And then they cooked a meal for all the families.
That's crazy.
And it was free.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And they all got a cookbook afterwards. My son's cooking us dinner tomorrow.
Awesome.
From what he's learned.
Wow.
And that is free through the North Carolina Extension.
Yeah.
4-H.
That's great.
Noah, why aren't you cooking me dinner?
I don't know.
I don't either.
That's what I always complain about with all the boys.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not sending you out into the world without knowing how to cook a burger or something.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to get blamed for your
Yeah.
problems in life with women. It's not going to be on me.
Basic, but things like that are important. Honestly,
They are. Not
Honestly,
just
there's
for
a
men.
need for that. I have a need for that for my kids.
Yeah.
You know, I really do because
I don't want to cook it.
I'm a little dangerous at cooking. I've gotten better over
Life
the years,
skills.
but I'm not good at teaching it.
Life skills.
Exactly,
Yeah.
life skills.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's huge. And that's something that Mayland, I know, is trying to do. I don't know much about Mayland. I just know what a great hub they are. And I do check the classes a lot.
We're so lucky to have that resource here. And I don't think.
Have you guys heard about, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Have you heard about the new nonprofit that was just launched called the Learning Shack?
I have not.
Okay. So I know very little. I've emailed with her once. We're supposed to talk on the phone. But she is offering free classes for kids like baking, carpentry, mechanics.
That's awesome.
Wow.
And it's free. And they're helping kids start businesses.
That is so cool.
It's like entrepreneurial type of stuff.
I need to find her.
Yeah.
On here, the Learning Shack. I don't know her. I can find her name, but it's Brent. She just posted about it, and I immediately inquired.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I know there's other people out there who care and are trying. Mm-hmm. It's just going to be about people showing up and supporting and helping and promoting.
Yep. That's the big thing, is promoting. Because I have no idea that this stuff is happening. I have no clue. So what we need to do is, we have so many like town Facebook pages. Why doesn't this stuff get promoted on those pages?
So I'm on a Facebook page called Family Fun in the Mountains or something. I might be saying that wrong.
Yeah.
Holly McClure runs
Yeah.
it, and she posts stuff like that all the for families.
There needs to be a
I need to,
central
like-
hub
Yeah.
There does.
for all
Yeah,
this.
there does.
for just like free programs for families.
Yep. Agreed.
Without all the drama.
Yeah, no politics,
need all
no none
that.
of that, no drama,
Just what's available
yep,
to you.
yep, yep.
And who needs a ride and what
Right.
you need. You know.
Community organizing, basic
Yeah,
stuff
maybe
like
we
that.
should do that. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I want to live
I
on Facebook.
think you're the person for the job, Bethany.
I don't know if I want to live on Facebook or not.
Maybe you'll end up being like Barack Obama, be the community organizer. I like that. But I mean, there's a giant need for that. Because I don't know, honestly, how many times we sit here, listen, now, we've done 6 of these.
Yeah.
How many times have you sit here and heard things that you had no clue about?
Every episode, all the time.
Me
Me
too.
too.
Every time I've watched all of them except for the last one I haven't gotten through yet. But
All
It's
kinds of
amazing
stuff.
to me how
Yeah.
how much I learn every time I do one of these. It's the wildest thing.
yeah,
So-
the other woman you had, the safe place.
Oh yeah, Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer.
She was great.
Yeah, Jennifer's
I love
awesome.
She was
her.
great.
I love
Yeah.
her.
And I didn't know all of that either.
Yeah.
Well, that's something I
about
think
what she
Safe
does.
Place in a lot of ways kind of intentionally operates in the background, at least with the shelter and you know the stuff that happens in the background. You know, I can
So
understand that. Yeah, it is very
So
important. Sad that we need that, but I'm so glad that we have it.
Oh
because
yeah.
it's important.
Yeah. Well, and I mean that is much as I would love to say that there's a solve for that, there isn't. There isn't
No,
a solve for
there's
that.
not. That's going to exist.
That's
no
going to
matter
exist as long as humans exist. There's going to be violence, no matter what. That's
Yeah,
part
people,
of the
people
human
like
experience. Yeah,
who have the compassion and empathy and the work ethic are vital
Absolutely.
to communities.
absolutely.
She was wonderful to watch. I loved listening to her
Yeah.
and what she said about the Latino community. Yes,
I want to explore that more too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is
they're so. I mean, we just have such a rich, loving, beautiful, healthy Latino community here, and there's just such a big gap.
and I
There
am
is.
I'm very
And some of
involved in
that-
that because I work with a lot of those guys in the building industry.
Yeah.
It's amazing the things that
They are
they do.
And they're
It really
such a
is.
resource and
Oh, it is.
so essential.
Well, I was out at
to growth.
the clothing store today, and getting a tux for my son for I mentioned this to you guys, getting it for prom, and that of course they'd gotten the shipment this last week of most of the tuxes. We were late, of course. I'm always late, fashionably late. Pun intended. I would say 75% of the high school dudes that came in there to get their tux make sure it fit and all that stuff. We're Hispanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
My little girl, the majority of her first grade or second grade class is Latino.
Mm-hmm. There needs to be a gap that's bridged.
Yeah, there absolutely
if we want
does.
to grow and continue to be a vibrant community.
Yeah.
Diversity and culture is essential to everybody here.
It is.
Okay.
Well, my question is, so how do we bridge that divide? Because it seems like the Hispanic community really, they live in enclaves almost.
They do.
In a lot of places. And
I think don't you think though that's a result of, because a lot of because now it's not, because
Right.
these are generational, you're talking about third, fourth generation. It's
these families all live together. And
right. Because when they first came here, they were illegal, and
well, that's also normal in their culture.
It
that's
is,
how
yeah.
a lot of people
That's
live
true.
around the world.
That's also true.
It is. I mean, you go to a lot of places in Europe, Mexico, Spain, a lot of places. I mean, you've got 2 or 3 generations living in one household.
That's normal.
Yeah.
This is really one of the only countries I know. North America at large, Canada's very much.
We're going to have to start becoming more that way.
We are. Maybe that's the answer.
I think that's what's happening.
Maybe that's the
Well,
answer.
I think it's going to be forced, because we're all a part of the same community now.
Yeah.
These are our friends. These are our neighbors. These are our coworkers. These are, our close confidants. I mean, I'm really good friends with the guys that I work with, and it always seems, it's like, how do you start to put those two together? And I do think you're seeing, especially when those Latino communities start to move economically into the community with businesses, and I think it obviously starts a lot with restaurants, because everybody loves Mexican food. I love Mexican food. It's the best thing ever. We have great Mexican food here, but it starts like that. But then I would love to see some of these people move into other businesses too. I think it's important.
Well, they do. We've got a car dealership.
We do.
There's a little store down at the end of Altapass too.
Yeah, there's several of those actually.
Yeah.
Those little taquerias or whatever they call them.
I've never been in one.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I used to go in there and get Takis all the time.
I
Yeah.
haven't been in there.
Oh.
I have to go.
You think there's one?
Yeah.
There's one Taki. There's the Fuego Taki.
Okay.
Oh no, there are 100
I'm
flavors
wondering-
of Takis.
Really?
I did not know this.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I'm wondering too if they're watching us thinking, here we are talking about their culture, and we are not.
No,
we don't
Right.
know.
We're not, and I don't know
And also,
anything.
like,
but
they I feel like they don't need us. They've got each other.
Oh, for
They've
sure.
got this. Like,
For sure.
we need them
that-
more.
but
I
you know
feel that way. Like,
what Jennifer was saying, and she's right though. That is something that mountain people and Hispanic people have a lot in common.
yes, I loved when she touched on that.
And that's so true. I mean, that's I can't figure out a way to argue with that, because it is. It's a lot like.
It was a beautiful point she made. Yeah.
In the way that they're supportive of their family and their religious views, and their there's a reason why those people are here and why they have in common.
Yeah, we have a lot to learn from them.
We absolutely have a lot to learn from them. Absolutely have a lot to learn from them.
Yes. So.
But so what's next?
Okay.
I heard Dungeons and Dragons. What are we doing with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I was going to ask about
I
that.
keep asking myself, how did I get here?
So we got chess accomplished. Now what's the next thing? What's the next club we're doing?
Yeah, it's so
Bethany?
funny. Whenever I welcome a new family into chess, I'm like, I don't play chess.
Right.
I just organize things. Okay.
So you don't play D&D?
I do not, and I don't want to.
I mean either. I'm not a
I'm
D&D.
sorry, but
That's okay.
my kids, you grow with your kids, so that's what they wanted for Christmas. My 2 older ones wanted a full D&D set. They're
Yeah.
big Stranger Things fans, and that's what they got for Christmas to share.
Nice.
And they have been wanting to play it, but we can't find any. They need other players.
You have to have other.
You have to have other players, and
Yeah.
my middle child Linus is 10, so he needs a little bit more help. Now Gus, my 12-year-old, he's read all the books. He understands. He wants to be the master. But I've been looking for groups, just like I did with chess. Can't find anything. I did find a place in Fletcher and in Asheville, like the Board Game Cafe. I want to go visit that place. It's awesome. Have you guys been there?
No.
I have not been there.
Oh man, it looks really cool. It's like all board games. There's beverages, adult beverages, kids beverages, food.
Wow.
It's like a $7 or $10 cover, and you can stay and play all day, any game you want. It's really cool. But they host, I think, groups, and then the Deck Box hosts a group called the Bearded Dragons Inn. I think I'm saying that right. And they do it like every Monday or Tuesday, but it's so far. And we have other things those nights that are important to us here, like Boy Scouts and chess. And so I've been
Here we are again.
I've been rooting around like anybody out there.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
And so the more, and I know there used to be like a role-playing board game group here with Lincoln Masters.
Lincoln, yeah. I was actually going to bring that up.
Yeah, but I think it might have fizzled out. I don't know what happened with it because I can't.
Lincoln text me and let me know. I'll text him and find out.
I've asked a few times, but who knows?
What is it up there in that building on Summit Avenue?
Yeah.
Well, he said they did D&D with the Bakersville Middle School, Bowman.
Oh, Bowman.
Is that right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't get a response, and I'm not upset about it. I'm life, and who knows? But
he's a busy man.
Yeah.
He's a very busy man.
Family, and so no hard feelings. But
sure.
I just never really got a response, and so now here I am trying to figure it out. And the more I've talked to people about it, they're like, oh, yeah. So then I started talking to Tony because when he was on your podcast and he was talking about the Monday night community thing and wanting to make it more of an all ages family friendly thing, I didn't know he was trying to go in that direction.
Right.
So then I'm thinking, oh, maybe we could do something there.
Yeah.
And like get our kids in there and the parents so they all feel safe there and it's a safe place for everyone.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And Tony's so great, It's such
Tony's
a safe
awesome.
place
I love
to be.
Tony.
He is so cool.
And I would love
Shout out to our sponsor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tony from the Moon Dust.
Yeah. Go to the Moon Dust Lounge.
He's
Tony's
doing amazing.
His
he's doing an amazing job.
logo is in the corner, and
If you haven't been down there, check it out.
Yeah. So when I heard he was trying to do more family friendly stuff, I asked him about D&D one night I was there, and he was like, "You're the fourth person this week to ask me about that." I'm like, really? Oh my gosh. So we just started talking about it, and he said he'd like to start opening on Sundays because the new bartender there wants to work Sundays.
Okay.
And I think she's trying to cook us up some stuff, affordable stuff. So, Tony, I hope I'm not over. But we did confirm
put it out
this.
there.
We
Tony
did confirm this. I did make sure I could talk about it. He said it was fine, but yeah, we're gonna try to do Sundays at 5.
yeah.
And at first, just all ages, anyone who's welcome. And then if we get enough turnout, we could branch off to a kids group and an adult group. But I need some adults who do play to kind of help the kids get started. Because once they get started, they'll be fine. And I know there's a lot of kids here that do want to play because I've asked all my chess people.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I know if you like chess, you probably like D&D. Same kind of bracket. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I think our first meeting we're gonna do at Moondust is April 30th, the last Sunday of April,
Nice.
5 o'clock. Gonna have some $5 to $7 sandwiches available,
Sweet.
and whoever wants to come, help some kids learn a real game in real time off the screens, have some real fun.
Right.
Come on.
Noah, you want to do that?
D&D Club.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think
I'm sure my other buddies would be down. If they're down, I'll do it.
As long as I can be called the Lunchman.
The
I want to be the all-powerful Lunchman.
flying lunchman.
I know they made me make a character sheet. They're like, "What do you?" I'm like, "I guess I'll be a dwarf." I don't know, guys. But my goal, I want to be able to drop them off
Yeah.
at some point and just go play your D&D on Sundays.
Yep.
'Cause
Yeah.
my nephews and other friends in other cities, their kids go to the library or a cafe or whatever, and they play D&D together. It is a thing. People
Yeah,
do it.
they do.
And not to say that our library won't. I've talked to them about it too, but I just feel like maybe the Moondust might be a fun new thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a little different environment too. It's kind of cool. It's got a vibe. And yeah.
The kids would feel kind of,
Yeah.
I think they feel kind of cool in there. And we're at the library all the time.
Yeah. Exactly.
we love our library. Tara and Michelle are awesome.
Yeah, they are awesome. That's always been a really cool resource to have. They've done a great job.
And Amber, the director, they really support Chess Club.
Yeah.
They really do.
My mom
So,
loves it up there. She's
They're
a
amazing.
big library person.
yeah, my son's also doing a crochet group up there that's free.
Oh, that's cool.
It is older women, but he loves it.
That's awesome.
It's
That's awesome.
It's called the Crazy Hookers Crochet.
That's awesome.
And they're teaching them how to crochet.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's free. It's I think the first Saturday of every month.
Yeah, I get the pun though. I get the play on words. I mean, that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really
They
cool.
have scones and tea in there, and they talk about their chickens. And my
That sounds
son's like, they're
amazing.
hilarious.
That sounds amazing.
It's so fun.
Love that. I love that. Back when I was young, I used to go for the aerobics class at when they had the Pine Bridge in the pool.
Uh-huh.
And I'd always be with the old women. Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it. It was one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Loved that kind of stuff.
And that is another big thing that I am passionate about. Bringing the adults and the elderly in with the youth to enrich the preserved culture. That's how you preserve the culture.
It is.
That we've all talked about. You know, growth through preservation. That is going to involve the elders and the adults.
Yeah.
Getting
Absolutely.
in there.
Absolutely. They need to intermingle. And I think that's the part, we had talked to Vern a little bit about the new sports complex that's opening up at Goods that they're getting ready to do over in Bakersville. And they're going to house the senior citizens workout stuff and all that. And I think that was kind of one of the thoughts behind that was like to make those, instead of just go to the senior center and don't, it provides a way for elderly people to get out and interact with the community as well. And that's beneficial for them, and it's beneficial for the younger
There's
generation.
so many scientific studies that say it really benefits everybody.
Absolutely.
It does.
So many health ways, mental health ways too. And there's such a rich culture here, again, with Penland, and the mountain culture is so beautiful and rich, and the arts and the quilting and the blacksmithing and the canning and the gardening. That's all stuff that they got to teach our kids if we want it to continue. And it's important life skills that our kids need to know in this age of screens.
One of the coolest things I've done in my entire life is sit on the front porch and break beans with my grandmother.
Yes.
We had the best time doing that and learning how to can, and I'm by no means an expert at all this, but that was one of the coolest things. And over those types of activities, you really learned what it was like to grow up here in a generation that was far different from what you have now.
And the kids are craving it. They don't even know it.
I know.
Yeah, you might have to force them to the first one, but then they'll want to go. They'll want to keep going because it feels good.
Exactly. It's almost like connection to your surroundings is a good thing for you.
Oh, yeah, very much.
Not just losing your life in an iPad or...
well, if we want to grow this town, and it's going to start with our youth.
Yeah.
And we are responsible for that.
Yeah.
We're responsible
Amen, Bethany.
for looking out for our kids and enriching them and watching them thrive and grow.
And that's why I admire people like you so much, is you've taken that, you've taken that and a need for your kids. All this
Just
is...
because I need it too from my kids.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it, Well, I'm not just me, but...
You've already done it.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. But
That's everybody, though. That's everybody.
I think my favorite... I love people. I love listening to stories. I love talking to people. And that's my strength, is just collaborating and talking and making something happen, showing up.
Yeah. Yep.
You're a good conversationalist.
What's funny is growing up, I always viewed the adults, everyone, had their shit together, was doing everything, and I grew up and became an adult, kind of.
How's that?
And realized no one has any idea what they are doing. No one
Especially
does.
parents.
Yeah, no one has a clue what they're doing. We are all literally just wandering through life, completely aimlessly figuring it out as we go.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's
And
nothing wrong with that.
We've got a really beautiful community here. And we've got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot of possibilities. We've got to come together, though, because the kids aren't going to do it on their own.
No.
No, they're not. And it takes a village to raise a child.
It does. And you got to create it a little bit.
Yep, you do.
It's not natural anymore. You have to really make that for yourself. And it's so possible here. And it is already here. It really is. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah.
But there's we could do a lot together. And
social media, I think, is really what's done this.
It's awful.
It's so bad.
And I'm guilty.
Oh, me
I'll
too.
tell my kids to put their phone down. Well, that's a long story, but I'm I gotta do.
Yeah.
But also, social media can be part of the solution to fix it too.
That's how I
It
have
can.
had a lot of my success with the clubs. Is like just that's how you blast it.
Yeah.
Well, and if you are out at a local business and you see something that you like, if you are out at a show, if you are at an event, take a dad blame video or post a picture and put it on. That's what helps. It really does. I've really been, Jimmy talked about that, and I really, that stuck in my head for some reason, and I've really been trying to do that.
Yeah.
Just to put it out there and to show people, because so many people just don't know. And it's like, if you could be here on this side of the camera and experiencing what me and you were experiencing by talking to these people, and we're 6 episodes in.
Yeah.
Can you imagine when we're like 30 in?
Or
what it's
100?
going to feel
Yeah,
like?
I know.
Like,
It's going to feel the same. We're going to be like, I had no idea.
I have fallen back. Not that I was never not in love with where I live, but I have fallen back in love with this place again, just because I get to see the people and I see it becomes so apparent to you when you live in this right here, and it's just, I don't know, I'm terrible at expressing it. I don't have the words.
I see what you're saying. It's like when you live here every day and you spend your life here, you kind of, I guess, start going with emotions,
Yeah, well, you take it for granted.
You take it for granted because you get involved in your own little life and what's going on in your life, and you don't really think about what's going on outside of your life. So you don't, like me, for example, I don't know what's going on outside. I don't hardly, I go outside, to check the mail.
right.
So that's another point, though. I'm sorry, I sound like an Oprah
No, you're good.
poster or something, but diversity and bringing other stuff from the outside in is so important.
It's not a bad
And
thing.
we've got to learn how to bring that in, so that, because once you learn more about the world around you, you really start to understand yourself.
You do.
And how you can be a part in your community.
God, that's so true.
So I think bringing stuff in, is important too. And there's not a lot of diversity here. And we've got, it's important in someone's life and education. It's broadening their horizons,
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's important. But what you're saying about how you've watched the seasons through this town.
Yeah.
I was talking about being a seasonal worker, and I love that. I love how you can really go through the seasons physically, like.
Oh, and you
'cause
do.
They're beautiful.
Oh, you do.
really do. Like, this winter was hard for me.
Yeah.
It was my first winter here.
Yeah. And this was a mild,
And now I know.
super mild
now
winter.
I know how to deal with it. Maybe next time a little bit better, but
Yeah.
The winters here are insane. That's my favorite part, though.
Yeah.
Is the winter.
it's nice.
Yeah.
It's my
Yeah.
least favorite part. I hate
See,
winter.
I'm from Indianapolis, so like winters are like 6 months long, and it's just
Yeah.
black slush and gray,
Yeah.
depressing. But,
That's one thing here. We typically, if it'll go back to being actual winter at some point.
Yeah.
Don't tempt it.
Hey, dude, I like. I'm like, no, I like it when it snows.
I'd rather have a real winter than a not just cold.
I like my shorts and flip flops.
What I want is here's would be my ideal winter. I want it to start snowing about the 15th of December, and snow all the way through about January 5th, and then it can just turn 70 degrees after that.
Okay, now I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
I want that year of the perfect Christmas tree. I want to go I want to go get the tree in the snow in the truck with the little thing and do the decoration and play the Christmas music and bake the gingerbread.
Do the thing.
And do all the stuff.
Check it.
I want to have an Appalachian Christmas. Then I want to go back.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
It's just after Christmas, winter is just a cold, wet bucket of suck.
God, man,
Yeah.
can we
That's
please
like-
get to April?
Such a cool part about this part of the country, though, is you really do go through the seasons.
Oh,
You
yeah.
do.
Which the gardening, like giving gardens, that's so awesome that it's here and could go so far, but like learning to how to really invest in the seasons and go through them wholeheartedly with your surroundings is
Well, you learn to, we're, a distant family member of mine wrote a book called No Work in the Grave. We're going to have her on. I've been talking with her.
Yeah.
But it's called No Work in the Grave, and it's about my family right around the turn of the century and the change from the subsistence farming through like industrialization. there was 2 family members of mine that have basically documented in a daily journal at what life was like back then and what the change was. One of them in particular, I think it was either an accident or had a disability. And so his job, because he couldn't physically work, he wrote down everything. So he wrote what they planted, what they harvested, what the yields were, everything, and then kept a daily journal of all the happenings around like their homestead and all that.
An almanac.
It's crazy, and I'm only probably about a little more than a quarter way through the book, but it's a lot like that, like learning to take advantage of the seasons and how they did it and how they worked it. And I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. But I'm really excited to have her on here. Like, it's like you harken back to that stuff. You realize that where we came from was subsistence farming. A lot of people came here, after the Revolutionary War to make a new start for their family. And a lot of this land was given to them by the government. It was one of those things where if you could harvest it, if you could use the land, they'd give it to you.
I've tried to read a little bit about that too, like the apple trees were a big, that's why there's
so much of that. Tobacco was huge back in the day around here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that was something. I grew up working in the tobacco patch. Oh man, I don't miss that at all.
No, that's hard work.
That's
baby.
Hard work. I did Christmas trees too when I was a teenager.
That's so big.
That is hard. Noah, you have no idea how good you have it.
Buddy, unless you've had the front of your finger cut off in a Christmas tree baler.
Dragging Christmas trees up and down hills.
Like, I'm good.
You're over here having
boxwoods,
to push buttons to make money. Man,
I do my dose of flavor when it is needed.
You do.
Yeah, you do. We're gonna mow the yard tomorrow, and you're gonna weed eat for me.
Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm being motivated.
That's just because we're on camera. If I'd have told him when he was in there on his PlayStation,
we don't need to bash Noah. He's awesome.
No,
genuinely, I don't. After doing all that heavy stuff, I don't care to do it.
No, I'm not bashing him. I'm just it's hilarious because if I'm like, I know I need you to weed eat tomorrow. Okay.
I'm not.
What if we had to go out and harvest tobacco all day?
I'm not saying I look forward to it, but I'll do it.
Nice. Yeah.
But no, it's. I think you're exactly right. I think it's. We have to start to embrace, and I love. When Jimmy was on here, he said if he was to ever run for something, his whole thing would be progress through preservation.
It's
and
very
I love
true.
that.
That's
I love
really
that.
true.
We have to embrace where we came from.
Yeah, and we're sitting on gold. There's so much here.
Yeah.
There's so much, and it's so beautiful. Like, I don't want to leave ever.
Yeah.
I love it here. And there is
awesome.
a lot to do. Like, what's to do out here is in the nature and the hiking, and yeah, you don't get that everywhere.
No, you don't. And
Go
I mean,
outside
cities-
and look at the
That's
stars if you don't believe us.
alone to come here
Yeah.
to see the beauty. I mean, just driving around, it's like, I still am like, oh my gosh, because I'm used to Indiana, like total flat.
Flat.
You
Yeah.
can see for miles. So
I've got
it's
family
been
in
really
Indiana,
cool.
so yeah, I've been up there. Yeah, up around Hobart.
I'm a Hoosier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Bethany, all right. Tell us. Okay, so give us the rundown. The chess club meets when? Give us the whole rundown.
Every Wednesday at the Spruce Pine Library from 3:30 to 4:30 right now, because that's what Colin can do. He's busy. He's going back to school. He's got 3 kids. He's, so that's when he can do it. So yeah, Wednesdays 3:30 to 4:30, Spruce Pine Library, free, no commitment, all chess levels welcome, ages 8 to 18. And we are looking for other chess playing adults who want to come in and help us. Because
Awesome.
we're not going to we can't keep, we
Right.
need help.
Right.
And you
So-
said that you guys are trying to make this official through the Chess Club
He
of
is-
America or
he
whatever it is.
Yeah, so what he was telling me is if we sign up as an official club, I think it's like $20 a year per kid, and some of that goes back to us.
Ooh, cool. So it's
And
like a
then-
resource as well. That's really cool.
But you have to do it to get a number for tournaments to play. And then we would be able to host our own tournaments here, which would be amazing.
Ooh.
And that's one of my goals, is to host our own Spruce Pine chess tournament.
Yeah.
And I'd also love to get a landscape bigger than life chessboard at Brad Reagan.
That'd be
somehow.
so cool.
Oh, that would be really
And
cool.
really kind of put that on us on the map a little bit for come on over here if you want to play chess.
Yeah.
Come to Spruce Pine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because there's community through that.
Absolutely.
Chess
there is.
community.
Sure.
And
It's a huge
It's
community.
another great bridge with adults and kids to merge
Yes.
together and learn. And some people take it really seriously, and some people just are there for fun.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, yeah, we've got some really great kids. So you should come check it out. And if you play chess and you're an adult and want to come help out, come check us out.
I need to tell
Sure.
some people, but I know some people that are heavy chess players.
Please, we need more adults
Okay.
Sweet.
that play chess.
Yeah.
Because I don't, like I said.
Sweet.
And then the D&D thing is just so brand new. Like Tony and I just talked about it last night. So, but April 30th, last Sunday of April, 5:00. If you're interested in D&D,
Yeah.
come on to the moon.
The lunchman will come.
The lunchman.
The lunchman.
Yeah.
Bethany, thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks
This
for
was
having
awesome.
me.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
I talked most of the time.
That's
so.
great. That's great.
And
No,
we'll-
that's what I'm not here to talk. I don't want to hear myself
No,
talk.
we're here for you.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
We want to hear you talk.
Well.
That's the whole point.
And we'll
of
put all this stuff down in the link below. I want to make sure before because we always forget to do this. I want you to write all
Yeah,
this down so
I'm
we can
really
put it
bad
in
at
the video.
this. I'm really
yeah,
bad
I'd love
at that.
to send to the websites for that Learning Shack
Yeah.
and for the
Please do.
4-H program.
Yep, send it all to me on
Send all the
Facebook.
stuff
Yep.
that you guys is open.
Yeah,
to the
we'll give you
public.
our email address, and I want you to give me some contacts where I can get some of these people on here
Yep.
and get them to. And maybe we can do sort of like a round table of people that
Yes.
got several
Yeah.
of these things like you that are going on to where we can kind of put all these people in touch with people in the
Yes.
community. That would be super cool.
And the Giving Gardens has been doing that with their focus dinners
Mm-hmm.
of like pulling people from the community to talk and have those conversations.
nice.
They were awesome. They were meeting at the Fox and Fig and having it catered, and
Yeah.
it was like focus group time.
And the Giving Garden, is that the thing down next to the baseball field?
Yes, Riverside, their
Yes.
little garden. It's a community garden. And like I said, I don't know everything about it, but I do know that they are a wonderful resource and trying to really connect everybody within the local food here.
Nice. That's
so
Distributing,
cool.
connecting.
Really cool.
And they're new. I think they're 2 years in. So they're trying to build it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they do free volunteer Saturdays or Sundays, I believe. So you can come free volunteer at the park. The Giving Gardens.
awesome.
Yeah, that's another thing we need to do is
And
get
that's
some
something you
volunteering.
can do with your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would also like to do that. Just give some opportunities where people, because I know there's people that want to volunteer. I just don't. I want to volunteer. I just don't exactly know what to go do other than the ones that I just know all the time. Safe place, or
Feeding- neighbors feeding
neighbors
neighbors.
feeding
Yep.
neighbors.
They
Yeah,
have a lot of volunteer work too.
Yeah.
And if you have volunteer stuff that needs to get done, let the Boy Scouts know, because we do have a troop here. They are a little bit mighty,
Yeah.
and we're
Nice.
always looking for
Yeah.
volunteer stuff to take the kids to.
Bethany, it's a pleasure to have you a part of our community. You and Matt both, man.
Yeah.
You guys are
Thank you.
just
Yeah,
salt
for
of the
sure.
earth people. Thank you
Well-
so much. For
Well,
doing
thanks for being
this.
so welcoming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it means
Our
a lot.
pleasure.
It
Our
means a
pleasure.
lot. And keep this up. This is so cool.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love doing this.
We need to bring the kids in and
Oh,
do
yeah.
like a tour.
Sure. Sure. Anytime. Anytime. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to go check out our sponsors, Big Al's Pack and Chip and the Moondust Lounge.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, check them out. They're amazing. And we love you all. We hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time.